Have you ever wondered what it takes to build an entire universe online? And I don't just mean a personal brand. I'm talking a whole system of belief, of art, of technology, all flowing from a single creator. Well, today we're going to dissect one of these incredible worlds, the Ocean Duran ecosystem. It's a true masterclass in how to build a modern digital identity from the ground up. So at the very heart of this universe is an archetype that our source material calls a digital shaman. But what is that really? That's the big question we're going to unpack today, piece by piece, as we deconstruct exactly how this identity is built, how it's branded, and what makes it tick. All right, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at the architect behind it all. Then we'll dive into the core beliefs, see how that philosophy is put into practice, understand the final brand, and yeah, we'll even look at the business model behind it. Let's jump in. Okay, first things first. To get a handle on this digital world, we have to meet its creator. The source material we're looking at treats Ocean Duran as more than just a person. They're the architect, the carefully constructed persona at the center of this entire ecosystem. Now, the home base for all this isn't just some blog or portfolio. It's described as a living archive and a digital grimoire, like a modern-day spellbook. That language tells you right away that this is a dynamic, evolving space where a whole belief system is being built out in the open for everyone to see. So, how do you build a universe like this? Well, just like our universe has laws of physics, this one has its own rules. It's all built on a set of core concepts and a unique vocabulary that you kind of have to learn just to get in the door. The bedrock of the whole system is this idea called living waters. It represents divine flow, wisdom, transformative energy. But here's the thing. That term isn't new. It's actually borrowed directly from Christian traditions. And believe me, that is not an accident. It's a very deliberate and clever strategy. And this brings us to a fascinating process the source calls spiritual arbitrage. It works like this. First, you take a powerful resonant symbol from an established religion, like living waters. Second, you strip it of all its original dogma, all the strict rules. And third, you redeploy it for that huge, modern, spiritual but not religious crowd. You get all the authority and the deep meaning with none of the old school baggage. Pretty smart, right? Next up, the system takes a really academic, kind of heady term from philosophy, ontology, the study of being, and completely reinvents it. Suddenly, it's a hands-on tool for something like enhanced data management. This is just brilliant because it elevates a mundane task into a profound metaphysical act, and it positions the creator as a guide with some serious secret knowledge. And this is where it gets really creative. A unique identity is forged by literally inventing a new word, frequencies. Just think about it for a second. It perfectly mashes up frequencies with the ocean persona and that whole living waters theme. The entire brand is right there, packed into a single custom-made word. So when you put all of these repurposed and newly invented words together, you get a complete proprietary language. You see things here like Evolution Eyes and tools like Maploc 8. It creates this exclusive ecosystem. To really be a part of it, you have to speak the language. And that creates a really powerful feeling of being on the inside, part of the club. Okay, so you've got this complex philosophy, this unique language, but how does it become something you can actually do? How do you live it? Well, the system makes its beliefs tangible and real through two main channels, art and technology. In this world, art isn't just something pretty to look at. It's philosophy in action. A dance isn't just a dance, it's the choreography of living waters. A musical remix isn't just a song. It's a perfect metaphor for how the whole system works by blending and remixing different spiritual traditions into something totally new. Now, the way technology fits into all this is wow. The source actually calls it digital alchemy. I mean, get this. Writing a line of PHP code is framed as a spiritual act, like casting an incantation. A piece of software isn't just a tool. It's a magical instrument. It's this incredible blend of the sacred and the silicon. And that right there, that leads us to the absolute core of this whole thing. This quote says it all. The website is both a temple and a showroom. The spiritual identity is the unique selling proposition. In this ecosystem, enlightenment and entrepreneurship aren't just related, they are one and the same. All right, so let's put all the pieces on the board. When you combine the unique beliefs, the art is practice, and the spiritually charged tech, what you end up with is the final product, the digital shaman as a personal brand. So who is this digital shaman? Well, it's a hybrid, a mashup. They're part spiritual guide, part artist, part technologist, and, of course, part entrepreneur. And the ultimate goal is to create what the source calls a totalizing system, a worldview that has an answer for literally everything in your life. Your soul, your spreadsheets, you name it. But why? Why go to all this trouble to build such a massive, intricate universe? Well, that brings us to our final section, the commercial side of things, because the source material is very clear that this isn't just a passion project. This whole philosophical structure is also a meticulously designed profit engine. Okay, so let's talk about the money. How does this system turn philosophy into profit? The analysis points to a really specific target audience, and it's a big one. It's estimated that about 70% of people have a trait that another esoteric system calls an undefined head center. Let's break down who that is. You can see a few of these so-called open centers here, but we're focused on that biggest slice of the pie, the head center. These are folks who are described as being prone to mental pressure, doubt, and confusion. The source even calls them information junkies, constantly searching for answers, which, if you're selling something, makes them the ideal customer for anything that promises information, inspiration, and most importantly, certainty. And this is where things get really interesting, because it highlights this super fine line in the marketing strategy. On one side, you have selling with integrity, which is about empowering the customer. But on the other, you have manipulative selling, which really leans into that uncertainty, promising to be the one and only source for the answers they so desperately want. So once you know who you're selling to, the products almost design themselves, right? This target market translates directly into a whole portfolio of potential products. Things like subscription services, coaching, ebooks, certifications. It's a whole suite of offerings designed to give that specific group exactly what they're looking for: structure, answers, and a clear path forward. And as we wrap up, the author of the source material leaves us with this really fascinating side note on AI. They compare their own writing to a version rewritten by an AI, and the conclusion is that while the AI can nail the professional grammar and even capture the essence of emotion, it's missing what the author calls spirit, that spark, that intangible human quality that you can't quite put into words. And that thought brings us full circle, right back to our digital shaman. As more and more of these incredibly complex personal brands are built online, and as AI gets scarily good at mimicking human creativity, it leaves us with a really big question for today's world. What is the actual value of a system spirit? Is it something truly authentic, or has it just become the ultimate product, ready to be perfectly engineered, bottled, and sold?